My name is Robert Jarvis. I am here with Bryan Clark, a good friend of mine. We brought him here, well, he's graciously to come here because he's had a life of fighting. He's a professional wrestler and has other aspects of his life where he will be able to, I hope, share with us how we can overcome, how we can get through some of the struggles that we all have in our lives. So I hope that we'll be able to go forward in understanding how he got through that, how he can help us all get through some of those fights and struggles. So, Bryan, if you would, thank you very much.
Absolutely, Mr. Robert Jarvis. Great seeing you, and thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
Sure.
Would you please give us a summary of your career, of your life?
Okay. I am a former U.S. military veteran, former collegiate football player, and 13-year professional wrestler with 3 world championships, including the All Japan titles. I had a career that is also extended into movies, televisions, commercials. I've done a little bit of everything, it seems like. And I'm still very active today as far as marketing and merchandising of action figures. I have 4 new out this year in the Legends series. And just enjoying it, finally being able to, I'm working for a couple of big companies that are pushing the merchandise out to the fans, and it's working so well that actually they're sold out right now. So it's good. Yeah,
that's good.
It's good stuff.
Very good. I want to go back in time a little bit, sure. Because I know that you had you have a military family.
Yes.
And I know all of us would say thank you for military service for you and your family and those that are in there. When you go back to your military service, what were the struggles that you had there, and what brought you through them? How did you get? Because we know it's tough. Yeah. But how or who helped you through those things?
There were a lot of people. The foundation of my career, starting with the military, I had some great instructors. One of who I'm actually still in touch with to this day. He was my drill instructor, Oscar Rios, out of Dallas, Texas, and amazing guy. But at the time, when he was beating me down, I didn't think he was so great. But it's just a process of where in the military, they tear you down to build you back up. And that's just one of the challenges. Me being a young kid, 17, out of high school, and then right into the military, not sure what's going to happen, but I just felt it was my duty to do that and follow my father's footsteps. And so, and my whole family is military, and it's just a process of discovering who you are and the things you're able to accomplish.
So let's take that into your professional life now, sure. Right? Mm-hmm. So you indicated that you always wanted to be in that type of, or you were interested at a very young age into this wrestling world as it is.
That's right.
And what challenges did you have getting into that wrestling world, and how did you overcome those challenges?
There's no two ways about it. It was definitely the hardest thing. That surpasses the military, surpasses college football, everything. My initial period of breaking into the wrestling business was beyond any type of training, and the School of Hard Knocks was exactly what it was. When I got into the wrestling business, that was very few people were even allowed to get into the business. A lot of times, if you were a second or third generation wrestler, you could actually get your foot in the door, and if you had some talent, you could stick around. But I was able to break in through the hard way of paying my dues, of driving 300-400 miles a night, working the show, maybe making $10 and may not have gas money to get home on. Oh, wow. So I paid my dues. I spent a lot of night in the car and on the road, and it's just that was the most difficult thing, is to keep pushing myself and being able to get my foot into the professional wrestling door and make the most of it, and I felt I did that.
Yeah, because we all have dues to pay, right? And it seems like in our lives, we can either pay the dues or we can just hold back, right? Sit on the couch.
Right.
So if you go through that process, and you get into the wrestling world. Were all your troubles gone when you got into that wrestling world? Or did some continue on? What happened?
Oh, absolutely not. It's once you get in there, then you have to prove that you can draw money, which is basically putting people in the seats. And if you cannot do that, you're not any value to the company. They have to be able to trust you and say that, okay, this guy can be a world champion. This guy can draw money. People will come to pay to see this guy for his ability to go flying off the top rope, or his ability to power slam somebody, all the different qualities, and then the actual charisma. It takes a lot once you get your foot in the door, it is a steady climb up that mountain. There's no doubt. I mean, it's tougher and tougher and tougher every step up.
So what then, when we have those struggles, what then gets you to the next step, and the next step, and the next step, to where you get that pinnacle of that world championship that we could apply in our lives?
I would have to say there's a lot of different ways to go about it, but I think the biggest thing is to be consistent. And two, there's nothing wrong with writing out your goals, the things that you want to do. There's nothing wrong with being, hold yourself accountable. And, there's 30 days this month. Did I train those 30 days, or did I take a break? Did I take off 2 weeks and sit on the couch, like we talked about, like some people want to do, or did we get up and train? No days off. If you know that there's a light at the end of that tunnel, and you know that, hey, here's my shot at greatness, at a championship, then that's the type of things that you can look back, and then you can look back at the end of the month and go, or the end of the year, or look and say, look what I've accomplished. And it's self-pride.
We all have these situations where we've got to keep going.
Yeah.
And, they talk about digging deep, right? You got to dig deep.
Yeah.
Where did that desire come for you? I mean, what got you off the couch? What can help us get off the couch and continue?
I think you have to look at yourself, look in the mirror, and hold yourself accountable. And that's the biggest thing I can think of. And again, about being consistent. I know that it seems repetitive, but that is the consistency is the key in everything. Whether if you're on a diet and you're trying to lose weight, if you're not training, you're not taking care of your health, which is first and foremost, because we all know if we don't have our health, we got nothing. So it's like baby steps almost, but it sounds silly. But if you just start with the basics at the beginning of the month, say you're only you're doing a half a mile or whatever it is, but increase each day, and by the end of the month you've accomplished something.
Was there a fight during that time of your professional wrestling? Was there a fight where before you started you looked at it and go, wow, I'm fighting Goliath, and so you have this, whatever it is, this fear or anxiety, whatever. Yeah. What gets you into the ring at that point?
Just like you said, those things, there is fear, there is anxiety, there's butterflies beyond you can imagine. If you do not have butterflies, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
And that's just sort of the way, and it's always been that from my very first match to my very last match. Always there.
So I see a lot of people in my profession that have anxiety, right? I mean, anxiety pushes us to different areas. Yeah. Actually can clamp us down in times. So how did you deal with that anxiety? Was it just a mindset focus or what?
Well, with my situation, I mean, it was sold out, 70,000 people, and it was live. So I mean, I had to perform. I felt the pressure of the company. I felt the pressure of my coworkers, and a good pressure. What I mean is that, like, okay, they're saying, okay, these guys are our world champions. These are the guys that we can trust. These are the guys that can pull that wagon. And what I mean by pulling that wagon is pull that company, help draw money, revenue streams from every type of venue, every media, merchandising, the works. So I felt that pressure, but that pressure was basically saying they had confidence in me, and I felt that. Hope I didn't mess up the mic there. The company put the pressure on us, but it was a good pressure. If I'm making sense here, it was good pressure to know that the company had confidence in us as a team to be world champions.
So if I take that and kind of say, all right, we are going through some of these struggles, or we're facing the next step. We have those types of. It's important for us then to have good people around us, right? People that believe in us.
Absolutely.
People that are not going to keep us down.
Yeah.
And that's probably in all aspects of your life that you have that.
Oh, it is. There's always going to be people that that will doubt you. Maybe they don't have as much confidence in you as you may think. Maybe they're just telling you that they do, but maybe it's a different situation behind the scenes. So that happens, but it really comes down to what you believe yourself. What do you really know that you can do? Can you perform? And those are the things that really, I had that self-confidence. And that started at, like I said, a young age, I think through the military and on up.
So you develop that self-confidence.
Yeah.
You surround yourself with people that have confidence in you.
Yes.
And so then you've created this positive pod,
Yeah.
as it were, to continue through to help you achieve what you want to achieve.
Yes.
Is that what we're talking
Yeah,
about?
definitely having a solid core of positive people around you. Absolutely.
Now, that cosm of that arena of professional wrestling, having to go through that. Now, I know that you've had personal struggles as well outside the ring.
Yep.
And social media. Social media goes all over for all of us, right?
That's absolutely right.
How do you keep a proper perspective? I mean, we have individuals, there's people out there, young, youth, as well as older, that are getting bombarded by negative comments, unlikes or no likes or whatever it may be. Yeah. How do you keep that positive attitude going forward to overcome that negativity?
Like you just said, there's always going to be a negative. You're going to get the likes, the dislikes. I've heard all the negative stuff about me, and I've heard all the positive, and there's tons more of the positive. So I've just got to where I stick with the positive, and if it's something negative, I just told myself, and I've done it even like over the last couple of years, just told myself, take the high road. And taking the high road has helped me so much as far as, instead of giving the person an attitude or them giving you an attitude, just shake their hand. And I did it this past week at WrestleMania. I did that to some guys that we didn't always get along. We didn't always see eye to eye, but we're more mature. To me, it's water under the bridge. It's rear view mirror. It's shake the hand. That's the best thing I could think of to try to right what little bit of wrong, even if maybe it wasn't a wrong. It was just an uneasiness that you had with someone. I found that taking the high road has helped a ton.
So it sounds like it's good just to let things roll off sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, because if you sit and dwell on every single negative comment, well, this guy, you had a terrible match this year, or why weren't you here for this? And there's a million different things.
So, when you're getting into this, you're in the heat of the pro wrestling profession, or it's constant. You have constant pressure on you. I had a wise man told me once that we're like a sword, right? One of those high steels. You heat it up in the furnace of life, and then you've got to take it out and you've got to put it in the water and cool it off. Right. And we need that cooling off period. What has been your tempering, cooling off thing? Has it been the workouts although that sounds pretty strenuous to me, but has it been your solace? I mean, where's the peaceful side to get out of the rat race, as it were, the pressures? It
has always been my anchor. That's what I go to when I'm feeling good, when I'm feeling bad, when I'm feeling blue, feeling sad. Yeah. That's just where I go. I put my music on, and I just do the weight training and go through my session. It really, and I feel such a positive release of good energy when I leave. When I walk out of the gym, I'm soaking wet, but it's a good feeling. And I know that I've done something good for myself, something positive. I've had a good sweat, and those things, it's just part of who I am.
So life lessons, then we've got prepare, right? We got prepare, be consistent, do what you need to do to have confidence in yourself, gather other people around you that are confident in you, going to give you that positive experience.
Right.
Put all that you can into what your goals are, what you want, but also find, whether it's the gym, whether it's reading or whatever it may be, find that pressure release as well that is going to help you get through those difficult times in your life.
I agree with you. I think you hit it right, like you said. The only difference with me is that I'd add this little saying, #no days off, which you guys don't have to go every single day, but that's just me. But just being consistent and working your way up to, who knows, you may be right there with me with no days off.
Yeah.
So something to definitely, because you're doing it for yourself. First and foremost, it's for yourself, and then it's for everyone around you.
To wrap it up, what would be your last piece of advice?
Just off the top of my head, it's all about you surrounding yourself with a great team. Just think of yourself as the quarterback, and you've got to have great people around you. You got to have a great orthopedic surgeon in my case, and I'm very lucky and blessed to have him. And my wife, my partner, Michelle, I could not have accomplished any of these things that I have accomplished during and post pro wrestling career. You need great friends. You need someone like Mr. Robert Jarvis, a fantastic attorney, actually the best of the best in my opinion. So it always helps to surround yourself with a great team.
Thank you. We appreciate you. I appreciate you
Sure.
coming in and talking with me. It's been
Absolutely.
enjoyable. I really have enjoyed it and loved it and learned a lot, and hopefully everybody's learned something from this as well. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
You got it.